Welcome to Slay the Princess. This is, from what I've read, it's kind of like Stanley Parable, kind of. Narrator tells you to do stuff.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Okay.
You're here to slay her.
What if I don't want to?
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Are you sure about this? Explore the end of the world. What are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Oh, there's a lot of choices. Someone else do this, forget I'm not doing it. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Do I get a reward for this? Always wanted to off a monarch. Yeah, I've always wanted to off a monarch. Viva la revolution!
Spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Explore, take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Yeah. Wait, you walk in and
The door
straight
to
to
the
a
basement
basement?
creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She doesn't sound in distress.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hey, I think I'm here to kill you? No, let's go down the stairs.
You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
What about the other one? Why isn't there another one in there?
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
Wait, why are the two voices the same?
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Yeah. What? No way. Why would you even think that? Okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm here to slay you. No, I haven't decided yet. I'm just here to talk. Don't say anything.
You step forward.
Silent
your
but
grip on the
deadly.
blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late.
Slay the princess.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming, but I have to wonder. Do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
Hope so.
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
Yeah, of course it is. She's dead.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't
No,
today.
I'm not guilty.
Let's just get out of here.
Viva la revolution!
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness
What?
of some place
Did you lie to
far
me?
away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
No, let me
What's
out.
done is done. And there's no going back now. This is what's best for everyone.
No, I don't
Trust
trust you.
Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days, or months, or years, or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
Where's my food?
Psst.
Where's my internet?
Hey, we're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
No.
I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade
Uh-oh.
to get out of this.
Myself?
I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
Wouldn't using the blade, kill us? Wouldn't we be dead?
How astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you, and you shouldn't do it. In a sense, we'd die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever. I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work. That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy. If we
Better be
die,
right about this.
you can yell at me all you want. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement
We
and
don't have
walk
to go to
down the
the
stairs.
basement to do it.
The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it.
Oh, because we have to get the blade. Yeah, we left it in her.
You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
Chapter 2, The Spectre.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that
Oh,
cabin
are we starting over?
is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
A year from now. Why? Do
Tricks?
tricks.
What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again. Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
Mm-hmm. Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all this really didn't happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything? Turn around and leave.
Do you think there's something else out there? Alright. Let's see what we can find. It's bound to be more interesting than doing the same thing over again. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Nope. Can I go back to... Yes, I definitely know. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all. Oh, how quaint. He really wants us to go in there, doesn't he?
Turn around again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. Everything is getting... What's going on? Where are we? I don't know, but it feels like home.
The world around you is unwound, its physical matter replaced by a textured nothingness. It is quiet. It's what we had before. There's a distant rumbling, a sound of many sounds. Undulations pulse louder as something other comes close. Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Resistance. Fingers drag claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. I need something empty I can crawl inside of. I need something shaped like me. It's a nightmare. Wake up. It's not. Denial. Return to your destined path or face the
You're on a
consequences.
path in the woods. And at the end of that path...
The real Slay the Princess
is a
starts
cabin.
here. You'll know when you see it.
And in the basement, you're here to slay her. If you don't, it...
Yep. Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's gonna is because she's locked
While
up?
I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
How do you
Unless,
know?
of course, you do your job and...
In the world, what are you
I'm
talking about?
talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people.
But we already did that.
You have to put an end to her.
You have any evidence to back
You're
this up?
already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Do I get a reward?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
But I didn't get it before. Tell me what the prize
It's
is.
a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your
I don't
wildest
think so.
imagination.
Oh, go to the cabin and I'll talk to her. If she's as bad as you say she is, then maybe I'll slay her. But I'm not committing to anything until I've had a chance to meet her
I
face to
guess
face.
we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. The interior of the cabin is almost in the blade is your implement.
Let's go without the blade.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated. Her voice softly carries up the stair.
Hello? Is someone there?
Is
That's different.
hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
Voice is different.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Yeah, let's look at the chains.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
And there's a key.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
If there isn't a key, do you have any other ideas?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
What?
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free.
Probably.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. Your shouts and pleas are met. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I
heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Did.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save her.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. Now, as the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and... Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Warn her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it! Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Resist.
The blade! Move the blade! As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
What's wrong with my fingernails?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
Uh-oh.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Damsel.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is you're here to slay her.
Ah, I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu.
Terrible sense of deja vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it there.
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he?
Smitten.
If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it. Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
This is more than just deja vu, though. I'm pretty sure this whole thing literally just happened.
We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
You were the one who did us in, villain.
Yeah.
Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price.
I beg to differ.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
Oh.
She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme. Convoluted? I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
I'm going with them. Find a way to save her from that
That's
cabin.
right, you can't stop all of us. We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last thing anyone does.
Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself with? You're not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes,
Let's talk
just
about
be
this
quick
princess.
about it.
The only reason she was even able to kill me last time was because I let her. She could barely hold a knife. How is this supposed to end the world?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world.
Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is.
Who locked her in the basement?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are.
Oh, I didn't know we were special.
Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Calling us special isn't going to make us friends, even if it did feel nice. Oh, believe me, the last thing I want is for you and I to be friends. But I'm a professional, and I'm not going to let my dislike for you get in the way of helping you save the world.
You're being cagey. What aren't you telling me?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Oh, proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie. She will
Yeah.
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead. The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant.
Looks different.
Its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries. A prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Approach the mirror? This whole cabin is different
Very
from last
different.
time.
Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
Mirror?
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago.
But now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Enter the basement. No knife.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already.
That sounds the same.
I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
That's right, villain, and you killed us.
Well, she killed her.
Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time.
Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this?
Are you sure we want to rescue her?
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
Killed me last time and it hurt a lot. Why'd you do that? I didn't bring a knife. Do I have to cut you out again? What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
Sorry about what happened last time. Narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was extremely unfair.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually.
That's because she's perfect.
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
I didn't bring a knife. Do I have to cut you out again?
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
When we started talking, did the world end? Did you end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips.
Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
No, I have no feelings about honestly the world's, oh, I don't want it to end.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself.
I'm not so sure.
Killed me last time and it hurt a lot. Why'd you do that?
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we?
We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone.
She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
No.
I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
You wouldn't.
I would. I'd listen to him if I were you.
He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'm damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to.
I told you. There's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon.
Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
What do you want to do?
Let me guess. End the world?
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I want you to tell me what you want. There must be something you want. Do you want to? I just want to leave. You can figure out the rest later.
That sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers.
We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending.
I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it.
I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with.
You and the princess walk up the stairs, hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks.
What?
That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love.
Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her.
Of course you wouldn't understand. Our
You can reach your
passions
hand
run
through
deeper
there and
than
unlock
anything
it.
you have ever known.
Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice.
I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Do you think you can open it? I think I've got this. Open the door by yourself.
Okay. Yeah, you've got this.
You place your hand on the door and... the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me?
Ha! I knew it. Your words are no match for the pure strength of our hearts, bound together as one.
You and the princess make your way upstairs and... The blade, that's right. There's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's too late. You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer.
Right.
I hate you.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin. and then you step outside.
Romantic haze, your love will set you free.
A happy ending at last.
Uh-oh. I hear bad music.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything go? Where did he go?
Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
No.
Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
Hey, we're men of feathers? Uh-oh, it's the hands again. But you don't get the chance to make that jacket. Something has taken her away and has left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went. I don't know how we go about looking for the narrator. I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
Something dreadful about it.
I don't think you should. Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and dream for a while? That doesn't hurt, right?
Approach the
I'm
mirror.
begging you, don't do this.
Ignore him. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. The body, it's you. It's you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her. You recognize the princess. No, you recognize the presence presence inhabiting the shell. It is the entity that dwells in the spaces between.
Something returns to the long quiet. It has surrendered its path of annihilation and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
You're that thing I met in the space outside the woods, aren't you? I thought that was a dream.
Vague recollections, empty tunnels without a mouth. I am sorry if I frightened you.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Solitary lights, what do you mean?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
I'm a person, I think.
A person. A set of eyes witnessing from one perspective. I think that you are more like me than you are like a person. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Are you attempting to slay the princess?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But were you always the princess, or are you just making her a part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
It does matter. Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Do you know about the worlds beyond this place?
I know only that they are.
What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
How much will I forget? How many more pieces of you do I have to find? What if I don't let you do this to me?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
And what if I don't let you do this to me?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
How much will I forget?
Everything, until we meet again.
Was sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You're being semantic. What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
I'm not going back.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
Wait forever.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Think the game crashed?
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
Never left your side. Attempt to outwait your destiny. Oh, it closed it? Wait, the game it didn't crash, it closed it? That you were gone. Mere moments, I have never left. Okay. Yes, that's the only choice I got.
I tell you to remember her.
Yes, I tell you to remember her.
You won't.
Uh-oh. Everything's go dark. Everything goes dark and you die. Alright, well, we're gonna end this here. We'll continue.
In the woods.
Nope. Okay, we're gonna end this here. Thanks for watching. Bye!